So welcome back to the channel, guys, and I'm going to do something a little bit differently than what you're probably used to seeing on tech channels. On the right hand side, we have the Galaxy Watch 7. This is the one that I actually purchased from a pawn shop for about $140. And to be honest with you, the performance on this thing has just honestly been phenomenal. This is a very fast, very smooth watch. It works very, very well. Sorry, I'm swiping away my notifications. And the moment I turned it on and it booted itself up, I just didn't have any problems going to any of the settings. Everything just runs super, super smoothly. It has a bunch of features, basically all the watches do, but this one even has the ability to, I think it's a feature where it actually checks if you have a period or not. That's more so for the women. But anyway, the point is that I do like this watch. When notifications pop up on it, it pops up immediately. There's minimal lag. When I mean minimal, it rarely happens on this particular watch. The only downside is really that they have a mediocre battery life. It only lasts for about a day and a half. I know the reviews will tell you it lasts me for 300 years. They're lying. They're lying to you. These watches do not last that long in terms of battery life. If you turn on notifications, even if you turn on display, always display off, it will not last that long. Maybe 2 days maximum. That's pretty much it, especially with usage. Now on the left-hand side, we have the Galaxy Watch FE. Now I actually purchased this at Metro by T-Mobile. I think I got it at the time for $50 or something, and then like $65 if you include taxes and fees and things like that. And it's not a terrible watch, but it is a horrible watch. And what I mean by that, even though terrible and horrible can mean similar things, what I'm referring to is the fact that this is nothing more than a rebranded Galaxy Watch 4 that they decided to resell to people. And honestly, that's disgusting. I think the price tag was like $249 initially for this watch, or $299, one of the two. And the performance for this has been abysmal compared to the Watch 5, the Watch 6, the Watch 7, the Galaxy Watch Ultra, whatever watch. And again, this is a mid-tier watch, mid-tier to low end. For anyone that's ever had the Galaxy Watch 4, you're going to notice that, right now it's working fine because it's been booted up for a while. But initially when you boot up this thing, you are going to deal with lag, a lot of lag, if we're being completely honest here. There are times where you're going to swipe up on your screen, and occasionally it's going to just, not occasionally, but more so occasionally, it's going to lag. And I've always had that problem with this watch. You can tell that Samsung did not take the time to actually fix all the bugs and issues that the watch may potentially have. Now, with that being said, I am going to talk about some of the good things about this watch. If you have a Watch FE, by all means, I'm not telling you to upgrade. If you're happy with it, be happy with it. If you're fine with the performance and you're not concerned about necessarily every single bell and whistle, this watch is going to work well for you without a problem whatsoever. But once you start comparing things in a different realm, it's very hard to look back at this and say that this is adequate. So let me explain what it is that I mean for the people out there that may think I'm insulting them. And by all means, I'm not. Because I'm actually going to go back to the Watch FE, and I'm actually going to sell my Watch 7 just to make money so I can just buy the next product, because I don't really want to spend my own money, you know what I mean? But that's how I normally do things. I flip it, use it for a couple months, however long, and then I flip it and try a different product, or a product may be sent to me, or I just use my personal paycheck or YouTube money, put it back into the channel, and then buy something else. So appreciate everyone that views this channel. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Why is the Watch 7 that much better than the Watch FE? And again, we're not going to talk any specifications about battery life or anything like that. We're just going to have an honest conversation, because unfortunately there aren't many of those online. Now, when I first initially got the FE watch, what I noticed is that the battery life is abysmal. Originally, this thing wouldn't even last about 24 hours with the always on display on. It just couldn't do it. So what I ended up doing was turning this watch, the settings off in the settings. I did keep notifications on, and the screen lights up when notifications pop up. I think it's on for like 30 seconds in the background or so. I mean, these bezels, look at the size. I don't know if you can see that in here, but these bezels are thick as hell, man. There's no reason for, and I forgot what year this came out, with it last year or whatever. These are very, very thick bezels. And then when you compare them to the Watch 7, it's much thinner. The watch works better too. See this background right here? This 3D animation wallpapers background? This is something that you can get if you have a Samsung watch, because they have their own emoji. This can do the same thing, but the problem is that it lags when you actually use this feature. And unfortunately, I can't show you at this exact moment. I should have switched it over, because I gave my wife another watch, and she gave this one back to me. She doesn't like this watch because she says that the notifications don't necessarily pop up immediately. Sometimes the notifications lag a little bit, and when she clicks into it, it might lag when she's swiping her screen to actually check the text message. So again, you still have the same functionality. It's just being done substantially slower. A good example is I'm currently recording off a Samsung A35 right here. This is my primary device. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm using it because I like reviewing products and having them for a certain amount of time to see how they work out. When you compare a Samsung A35 to a Samsung S24 FE, it's like night and day. Camera system, battery system, screen, brightness, everything. Even though they're OLED screens and whatnot, it doesn't mean that they're created equally. The parts inside don't operate as well and as smoothly. Will you still have a decent enough experience? Absolutely. But you'll understand when you get something that's substantially better. Just like if you jump from the S24 FE to like the Ultra phones, the Ultra phones are substantially better than the S24 FE. But at least that's in a category where it still feels good. So if I had to compare this watch, this is basically a S24 FE. This watch right here is a Samsung A35. And then the Samsung Ultra watch, or the bigger versions of the Watch 7, are like the, I guess you could say, the higher end versions of Samsung products because they last longer. There's better battery life. It's just better quality overall. It's easier on the eyes, if you know what I mean. If we're just talking about physical aesthetics, but if we're talking about eternals, I don't know what Samsung is doing. Apple has done the same thing too, where their watches don't last for more than a day or two and you have to put on a charger practically every night. Kind of beats the purpose of having a sensor that can do heat and detect periods and oxygen levels and all this other stuff if your battery life is so bad on your watches that you can't even have it on for 24 hours. You need to carry a watch charger with you. But again, outside of that, I do like both of them. They both have this little mechanism right here with the button when you pop this off for the bands itself. So that I think that's a really cool thing, if we're being completely honest here. It's a cool watch. It works very, very well. I don't really have too much negativity to say outside of that, except for, this is a little bit laggy. Sometimes when you just use it and you just want to check a quick notification, you notice that the screen jumps a little bit from here and there, and then a notification might pop up, or you might accidentally swipe it away on an FE watch, and you might get a little bit frustrated. That's how I feel about the A35 when I use it sometimes, where if I'm doing editing a video and I need to do something else at the same time, which that is my fault for trying to use a mid-tier range device to do a bunch of different things. But when you're paying that price tag, especially this is like $249 inside of a store. This is not worth $249. You can get one of these, the Watch 7, for like $299. So a $50 difference online, you can get this watch practically brand new, whether it's from a carrier, preferably not from a carrier, but from just like a store, a Best Buy. They have sales for these watches. And they're going to actually release the Watch 8 soon, I'm sure, whether it's this year or next year. I think it's this year. So there's going to be a discount on a Watch 7. Why would you even consider the FE? Again, I don't know why they even made this. Now, I do know that Samsung had deals where the watch came with the phone for a while, and that's not a bad deal because you're getting a watch as a throw-in. But to actually purchase this on purpose when the other watches are next to it, I'm telling you, if you get a FE watch, or better yet, do this. If you go into a store that happens to have Samsung watches and things like that, and the FE watch is on display, just swipe through the watch while it's connected to data. Actually see which one moves smoother, and you're going to instantly know that this watch, the Watch 7, is going to be better. I would still suggest a Watch 5 or even a Watch 6 over the Watch FE. It's just not a very good watch overall. But if you're a prepaid carrier like I am, Metro by T-Mobile offers this for like a whopping $50. That's a hell of a steal. Don't get me wrong. If you're paying regular price, I wouldn't suggest this. But if you're getting it at a discount, someone's giving it to you, it's half price, something like that, then yeah, it's a really good watch. But just keep in mind that, if you see the performance, it's literally a Samsung Watch 4 repurposed as a Watch FE with some tweaks and updates here and there, which do better life choices as overall. But you're still going to notice that it just feels underpowered and it feels like you're missing something. Like when you use lower end devices, it feels like in your soul. I know it sounds crazy when I'm saying this, but only people that use phones on a regular basis and complain about them understand. It feels like it should have been better for the asking price, and they're purposely pulling away, putting a worse processor in it and chipset and things like that to get you to buy the newer ones. But it's like you don't have to disrespect your customers that want to save money. Give them something that's worthwhile, and you could do better than this. If anything, they should have just rebranded a Watch 5 as the FE watch, and I wouldn't even be having this conversation. But at the end of the day, My suggestion is I actually did reviews on both of these watches, and I gave this pretty stellar reviews because again, it's based on the price tag that I pay and the demographic that happens to want to buy it. But my suggestion is to look at people like Flossie Carter and so many others online that can kind of break down these watches for you, all the specifications and features, so you can make sure that you're not missing out on anything. And lastly, in case you guys are wondering, they both have the pinch feature where if you're wearing it, it'll like answer a call or do certain things. Just make sure you turn it on and get used to it because you can accidentally do a gesture and it might, do something while you're on a phone call or listening to music or something like that. I have had those issues as of lately. Anyway, like and subscribe like always. The band's dirty. Oh, this is nasty. I actually got this used and this is how the band was. So I'm thinking about taking this band off, switching it onto this one because I'm keeping this one and putting this band on here because it's much cleaner as long as they fit, so I can sell it for the price that I got it for because I just wanted it for review, but this is a really good watch. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Appreciate you listening to my rant. Peace. I'll have some other reviews coming up very soon, so stay tuned for the channel, and I will have a link in the description for my secondary channel, the Ian West Network updates that I'm trying to build, where I just talk about tech in general, similar to this. That's why some of these videos are on this channel instead of an unboxing, so you guys can get familiar with it. And if you like that style, please do subscribe to that one. Content will always be free, and I'm a non-paid reviewer. Keep that in mind. See you in the next one.